You know, it's funny how most of us claim we're fine being alone, but the second things go quiet, it's like our brains crank up the volume on every worry we've ever had. Why do you think silence feels so intimidating to people?
It's wild, isn't it? I think the moment there's no background noise, we have nowhere to hide from ourselves. Suddenly, all those doubts and old fears float to the surface. Sometimes it feels like your mind is shining a spotlight on the stuff you'd rather just ignore.
Oh, absolutely. It's almost like our thoughts have been waiting for their solo performance. But that's the thing I've noticed. Those uncomfortable feelings aren't just random. They're actually pointing us toward things we need to heal or understand about ourselves.
Exactly, and that's where the magic happens. Once you stop treating those whispers as enemies and start seeing them as messages, being alone can feel less like punishment and more like an opportunity. It's a little uncomfortable at first, but it gets easier with time.
That actually leads me to something I've been thinking about. A lot of people confuse being alone with being lonely. There's a world of difference between the two, right?
Oh, totally. Loneliness feels like you're stranded and desperate for connection, while solitude is more of a conscious choice to step back and recharge. I mean, think about all those big thinkers: Buddha, Rumi, even Steve Jobs. They used alone time to gain clarity and come back stronger.
Yeah. When you choose solitude, it's not about escaping the world, it's about returning to yourself. Sometimes I feel like when I'm always surrounded by people, my own voice gets drowned out by everyone else's. But in solitude, suddenly, things get clearer.
I get that. It's almost like, in the quiet, you finally hear your own guidance, what you value, what you want. I've even had breakthroughs just by taking a walk alone, no distractions. Funny how clarity sneaks up on you when you're not looking for it.
Exactly. And I think that's why learning to enjoy your own company is such a game changer. It's not always easy though, so how do you actually start getting comfortable with it?
Oh, I love this. Honestly, you start with tiny steps, like leave your phone behind on a walk or just sit in a cafe and people watch without any music. The first few times, it feels so weird, like you're missing something important, but you realize it's just unfamiliar.
Totally. I remember trying to meditate for the first time. It was like my mind went into overdrive. But after a while, I started to notice my own patterns and even strengths that I'd been too distracted to see before.
Same here. Solitude becomes almost comforting once you stop expecting it to feel like isolation. It turns into this space where you can actually check in with yourself, set boundaries, or even dream a little bigger.
You know, that makes me think about how silence itself can be a kind of teacher. Like, in the quiet, you really get to rebuild and reset. Have you found that silence has helped you grow in unexpected ways?
Absolutely, I think silence holds up a mirror. It forces you to look at yourself, without all the usual distractions. Some of my biggest decisions and shifts have happened when I let myself sit with uncomfortable quiet, rather than just filling it.
That's so true. I've probably written out the best ideas or healed old wounds during those silent nights when nobody was watching. It's almost like silence clears away everything unnecessary, so you can actually hear what your soul's been trying to say.
Exactly. And once you realize you can create your own peace, you stop depending on other people to fill those gaps. It's empowering because when you're whole on your own, the relationships you attract are healthier, and you just feel lighter.
I love that. Honestly, if more people embraced those silent moments, I think we'd all be a lot more resilient. But before we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with a final thought on what being alone really means.
I couldn't agree more. Being alone isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's a chance to meet yourself in a new way. When you accept that invitation, you start to realize you were never missing anything, you just needed space to find it.
So next time life goes quiet, don't rush to fill up the silence. Sit with it, even if it feels strange at first. That stillness, it's where you get to know the real you, and that's honestly the most powerful thing you can do for yourself.